Hello, hello, everyone. Can you hear me and see me? I've got a whole fancy setup going here, so hopefully you can see me. Hopefully you can hear me. How are we all doing? I see lots of people in the chat. Hello, hello, everyone. If you're new here, I'm Gertie. So happy to have you here. Welcome, welcome. Cheers. Let's raise a Diet Coke to launch day, June 1st. Cheers, everyone. So I hope you're ready. I hope you're ready for some fun in the sun and a beachy good time because I have my swimsuit on. And so excited to see you all. And so get on your swimsuits, get out your sun hats, your sandals, your sunscreen. We're going to, Tasha's here. Oh my gosh. Tosh, one of our models. The furnace cranked is up high. It's actually quite warm here today. So yeah, it's good swimsuit weather. Hi, Mom. My mom's here. Love the pink polka dots. So yeah, it was okay. So where do I even start? Huge release day, probably the biggest release day we've ever done for Charm. We released 2 new full Charm patterns. One of them is the Esther Swimsuit, which is what I'm wearing right now. And the other is the Bryant gown, which is a gorgeous mermaid gown with lots of options. Of course, they both have options. And then we also released some Patreon content today, an expansion for the Esther Swimsuit on Patreon, as well, let me just tell you all the technical difficulty I've had this month, but currently uploading a 2.5-hour long video showing you how to sew the Esther swimsuit from start to finish will be on Patreon. So should we just dive in? This is my one and only swimwear pun I have for you guys. Ready to dive in? All right. Where should we start? Okay, should we just start with Esther and talking about Esther? You guys like the patterns? I'm so happy. We have been working, everyone on the team has been working so hard getting ready for this launch. And it was a race to the finish. And I'm so happy with how everything turned out. And I'm happy that this day is here. So I brought some show and tell kind of stuff. I brought a bunch of Esther swimsuits to show you and also some vintage swimsuits that I would love to share with you. Esther is my daughter's name, so I love it even more. Oh, that's so cute. Yeah, I love the name Esther. And obviously the Esther swimsuit, well, I hope it's obvious, was named for Esther Williams, who was a movie star in the 40s and 50s, and she was known for being a swimmer, and she did these amazing synchronized swimming scenes in her movies, which got just more and more elaborate as each new movie was released, and they were truly spectacles. So if you don't know much about Esther Williams, really check out, I would just go to YouTube and just start Googling Esther Williams scenes and just enjoy. There is some wacky stuff that she did. She was amazing. The reason we have waterproof mascara. Oh my God, I love that. So what can I tell you? Other than being named after Esther Williams, you guys have been asking me for a swimsuit for years now. And I knew that if I did a swimsuit pattern, I would want it to have obviously lots of options, but I think structure was the most important thing to me when designing a swimsuit pattern. So I knew it wasn't going to be a simple tank, simple tankini. No, I'm just kidding. I would never do that to you guys. But I knew there was going to be a lot of research and testing that went into it. So this pattern has truly been a journey. I know I say that every time, but it's been a real journey to try to get to the point where I was happy with the way that we were melding vintage style and vintage structure in a suit and the support that you would get in a vintage suit with modern swimwear fabrics and techniques. Okay, so I'm just going to I'm going to take you on a narrative journey of the process, but let me show you, let me show you a little bit, I'm just going to give you a little fashion show here, but you can see that there's a separate band at the top, princess seams here. There's a basque waist, which was really common on 50s suits, that sort of point there. This one has a little skirt with the panty underneath. You can see it's a full coverage, which I love. And then in the back, we have a bra back, which gives you a lot of support. And then this lower closure closes with hooks and eyes. So you get a lot of support through the bodice. And then there's an inner bra, which you'll learn more about that later. There's boning. There's all sorts of structure in this thing. Yeah, I don't do anything simple or easy on myself. But I want to tell you like how we got to this design. And this is the shoulder strap version. Okay, so there are 3 strap options: shoulder strap, a halter strap that just, goes, it's like a loop around the neck. There's also a tie halter strap, or you could make it strapless. Then there are several bottoms options: your skirt, your panty. You can just do the panty alone. And then there is also a bloomer, which is one of my favorites. And then on Patreon, we released an exclusive expansion on there, which is the ruched bottom. So it's a panty with ruching on the sides. It's so cute. So I don't simplify things more than they need to be. I would never. I can't. So let me take this journey of designing Esther and where I started. And someone just asked, can we use a zipper for the lower closure? Oh my gosh, that's so funny. Okay, so listen to the journey. Listen to the journey. So I collect vintage swimsuits. I love them. I'm always on Etsy looking for beautiful vintage suits, and really not to wear, just to study. So I've spent a lot of time looking at inside vintage swimwear, feeling it, touching it, looking inside the bras. I've never taken them apart, but I do spend a lot of time studying them. Erica says drink every time she says panty. Oh my gosh, you guys are going to be wasted. Okay, so vintage suits. Yeah, they're really beautiful. This one is from Cole of California. And one of my favorite things about vintage suits is the fabric. And most of them from this era are made from something called lastex, which is a very sturdy precursor to spandex. And they don't make it anymore, which is, one of the great tragedies of my life, is that I cannot get lastex anymore, because I would be making you all sew these suits in lastex. But they were an early spandex fabric, very stretchy and very, very sturdy. If you felt this, you would probably think it was more like a stretch woven, okay? But they also are made from nylon mostly, so they don't retain water. So it's a great swimming fabric. I don't know why. I feel like if we still had suits made out of lastex, we would all love how we looked in swimsuits just all the time, because it really is an amazing fabric that gives you a ton of control and smoothing and just very flattering. So, so this is lastex, and you can see the thing about lastex is it's not so stretchy like our modern spandex that you can pull it over your hips. Vintage suits tend to be high in the back. So they usually had zippers, metal zippers down the back. And you can see there's a metal zipper and then a zipper guard with snaps. And often the zipper guard would have a metal bone in it as well to keep the suit from buckling up the back. Now, it was my early vision for the Esther suit to have a zipper up the back. Now, I can tell you that was the original plan, and there's a reason that the zipper did not make it into the final pattern. Reason number 1. It is terrible to sew a zipper into modern swimwear fabric. You will rue the day you ever started sewing, because Spandex moves all over the place. It's impossible. It like ripples. It does not look good. And we did a ton of tests. And well, I think we might have, like the way it was smooth in the front and you could zip it up in the back. The zipper looked like crap in every, pardon my French, in every sample that we did. So I was like, okay, well, this isn't going to work. Also, the other thing is I felt like we were lacking some bust support with the zipper option. And one thing that I really like, and this is where I'm talking about like mixing some modern techniques with vintage ideas, was that a modern thing that I really like in swimwear is a bra back. You know how they say in bra fitting that like 80% of the support for your bust comes from the band? This is what's going to give you that support in the bust, okay, is having that bra clasp in the back. So getting rid of the zipper, and then I could put in the bra clasp, and then we have this lower back. But the problem is, if there's no opening up the back here, you cannot fit your hips into the suit. So that is how we landed on the hook and eye closure. And I feel like, is that Andrea? Oh my gosh, Andrea, who... unsung hero of charm patterns is Andrea, helped me come up with this hook and eye closure. So Andrea's with us one day a week doing sewing. She was helping me test this pattern. And I love working with Andrea because we can like brainstorm solutions together. And the two of us, I feel like this was like a true collaboration, came up with this method of doing the hooks and eyes in the back and also having them be invisible. So try it. I think you'll like it. That's all I have to say. Let me have a sip. Okay. So I'm getting a little ahead of myself. What else can I tell you about vintage suits? They usually have an interior bra as well, like this, and boning in the bra, like going up the vertical bra, right, like that, okay? And then some elastic at the bottom. So this style in the front, this is called a modesty panel, which I always thought was so funny. It's like, ooh, don't want everyone seeing all my body parts. Oh no. So that's a modesty panel. This one has a cool, like layered bust. You guys would hate me if I designed this because it would be really hard to sew. So this, did I mention already? This is Cole of California, which is a really collectible brand of vintage swimsuits. So that's a Cole of California suit. And then the other one I really want to show you is one by a designer called Rosemarie Reed, who is my favorite swimwear designer of this era. So she was incredible. I almost named the suit the Rosemarie suit, but I felt like Esther was a little more recognizable. So Rosemarie Reed, she designed swimwear. She called it like the Hourglass Mallow and like Jewels of the Sea. And she had these really fanciful photo shoots. And if you've seen ads for swimwear from the 50s with like three women standing together and they're like in a clamshell, and it's like, that's probably Rosemarie Reed. And her whole philosophy was that swimsuits should fit like evening gowns and that they should have the structure and feel of evening gowns. So I love her for that reason. I also really like the way she incorporated the bloomer silhouette into her swimwear. And this is one of her bloomer suits. And I'm sorry it's black because I don't know if you're going to be able to see, but this is one of my favorite suits of hers. It has sort of like a ballet neckline with straps. She was also the queen of the basque waist, which is why this suit has a basque waist. See that point there? This is her bloomer. Her bloomers were very complicated. I also spared you on the sewing the bloomers and made them simpler because you can see they had like pleats on the side. They had elasticized seams up the butt. And her inner suit there's an interior bra with the boning channels and boning on the side seams, and then that zipper up the back. Okay, so that's a Rosemarie Reed. This is the most flattering vintage suit I've ever tried on. So So the real conundrum for me about doing a vintage inspired suit for modern sewists was this issue of the fabric. Modern swimwear fabric is just basically what we call generically spandex, right? So typically 80% nylon or polyester blended with 20% lycra. And that's a very stretchy, like what you would make leggings out of or something like that. Vintage swimwear is lastex. And this one doesn't even stretch. She has the stretch going in the vertical direction because she was trying to get a corseted look through the midriff here. Okay, so a lot, but it's very sturdy. Like I said, you would probably think it's a woven if you felt it. You would say that's like a stretch sateen or something, maybe, or a stretch twill would probably be your guess. And it is very sturdy. It does not have a high stretch percentage. Okay, so something like a modern spandex would have 75% stretch, whereas this has about 30 to 50% stretch. So totally different. It's going to give you a totally different fit, totally different amount of control. Okay. So it is spelled Lastex. So that was the biggest problem. That was the biggest dilemma to be solved going in, was how are we going to get that vintage structure and look using modern swimwear fabrics? And the answer was to layer two types of fabric together. Okay, so in these suits, we have layered just your regular old spandex swimwear fabric with a heavy power mesh on the inside. So if you've ever sewn with power mesh, it's used a lot in like lingerie sewing, in shapewear, things like that. So it's the beige fabric on the inside. And I found this amazing heavy power mesh, which is very sturdy. And that is in the resources link. And also now on the Charm Patterns blog, we have a list of all the resources. So you can source this same heavy power mesh. And so we did a lot of tests layering fabrics together. And this was sort of like the dream combo for me, was layering your modern swimwear spandex with a layer of the power mesh. And then suddenly you had the same amount of stretch percentage as lastex and the same feeling of sturdiness. So it gives you the same shaping properties and the same sculpting properties that Rosemarie Reed would have wanted in her hourglass malots. Okay, so what I can tell you is that we have power mesh underlined in all of these panels, in the upper bust too, in the lower back, in the bra, in the straps to give a lot of sturdiness, and also in like the front of any of the bottoms, just to kind of give you a smoothing effect in the bottom. Okay, so if you're tempted to make this without a layer of power mesh, I would say just don't. Or, at least try, experimenting with two layered fabrics together. The suit really isn't meant to be made with just one layer of spandex, because you could potentially have double the stretch percentage that the suit recommends, the pattern recommends. So that's kind of how we got there. And it really, I will tell you, this suit, and this is the one I made on camera for the video that's coming out, it's like the most comfortable, supportive feeling suit I've ever worn. So I'm really happy with where we ended up. And I do want to show you a little bit inside our suits, because I did take a lot of other vintage inspiration, including those interior bras. Oh, and Nati gave the link to our resources list in the comments, so check that out. So we also included an interior bra with elastic under the bust to give you support. And then actually, let me grab this one. This is the yellow one, because I feel like this one has the boning channels. Okay, so and then inside you are going to see foam cups, okay? So this is a thin foam called polylaminate foam. So glamorous. And that is also in the resources list. And you can basically cut it, and I show you how to butt the edges together and make your own foam bra cups for the bra. And then also a line of boning that goes over the bust vertically to give you some shaping and support in the bust. And then the orange, someone just said they love the orange. I love the orange one too. This is the one that Tosh modeled. Tosh is here with us today. So yeah, you can see we did the white band on Tosh's suit as well. And then the bra back. And we found these fabulous clasps on Etsy that have rhinestones on them. And sadly, they're sold out now. But I did give you a link to the shop because she has some other beautiful metal clasps too, like rose gold and stuff like that. So check her shop out. And that's the bra back. Here is the opening, the hook and eye opening. We gave you a hook and eye guard, like those suits have the zipper guard, just so you don't see any skin if it stretches open. And then we show you how to do a really clean finish. Here's the eye side right here. It's sandwiched in between the hook and eyes and between the two layers, the hook and eye guard and the outer suit. And then that closes at the lower back for like a nice clean look. And then this one has the bloomer bottom, which I love bloomer swimsuits. I think they are so cute. And also, just in my journeys trying on vintage swimsuits from my collection, I feel like people really love that slim modesty panel look. For me, it does nothing for me. I feel like a tube in them. I'm just like, I feel like it kind of like takes away shape and like straightens me out. But when you put on a bloomer, it like gives you curves. Okay. So I think I just have this feeling that people are going to be scared of the bloomer because I used to think like, oh, I would never wear a bloomer suit. And then I tried on that black Rosemarie Reed one. And I was like, this is the most flattering suit I've ever worn because you get the streamline through the bodice and then that bit of shape at the hips with the bloomer. And it really gives you that hourglass shape. You can see why the sewing video goes for over 2 hours. So someone just asked what kind of boning. We use spiral steel boning. And because I know you're going to say, doesn't it rust? We did an experiment for you because people always ask me if spiral steel boning rusts when I wash because I recommend hand washing my garments with spiral steel boning. And everyone always asks me about rusting. And so we did a little experiment where we put a length of spiral steel boning in a cup of water for 3 weeks to see if it would rust. We did it in the studio and it didn't. So it's true. It is actually treated to be resistant to whatever water you throw at it. So don't even worry. Don't worry. Yeah, you're all intimidated by the bloomers. Try it. You'll like it. Come over to the dark side. So let's see. This one has the shoulder straps as well, and then the little bloomers. So the bloomers are lined with the lining fabric, not the power mesh. So swimwear lining fabric is like a knit, lightweight fabric. It usually comes in like beige, white, and black are honestly usually your choices. And it's great for adding opacity and just a little bit of structure to your swimwear. When things get wet, you're going to want that extra layer in there. So those are the shoulder straps. This one has the halter strap. So this is the one where you just kind of dive in to your halter strap. And then we also have a tie halter strap. So yeah. Oh, and this one has the panty. So if you're just looking for something a little more classic in silhouette, maybe even modern, then you can just do the panty on the bottom. And this one was modeled by Head, who looked fabulous in it. how easy are these to get on or off? Well, you really just have to unhook this and then undo the hooks and eyes and then pull it down. It's probably a lot easier than dealing with a wet zipper in spandex. Yeah, so we wanted to give you a lot of options for the straps. And yeah. What else can I tell you? What else can I tell you? Tosh says it was easy to get on and off. See, model approved. What else can we tell you? Any questions? Sunny is here. Hi, Sunny. Is the cup shape closer to Jane or L'Amour? You stumped me. You stumped me. I would say it's probably a mashup of Jane and Liz, because Liz has that upper cup. But, you know, it's also entirely its own thing because, you know, something like this bathing suit it has 3 inches of negative ease in the bust, whereas, you know, the other charm patterns with princess seams were usually designed for wovens with either a little bit of negative ease, but mostly a little bit of positive ease. So the fit is going to be totally different. Jane has a slightly more pointy shape. I don't think this one has a pointy shape. Can you mix the Jane skirt with it? No, you can't. And I always get a lot of questions about things and how they can be mixed and matched. And I would say, you know, if you're not sure, I would recommend look at the seam line where the pieces would go together. So first, okay, there are a few things that would answer that question. First of all, how much ease does the design have? Jane has negative ease, but it's meant for a stretch woven. So it has about 1 inch of negative ease, maybe. The swimsuit is meant for spandex fabric. So it has 3 inches of negative ease in the waist. So if you look at the finished measurements, that should give you an idea of if things are interchangeable or not. Because on the swimsuit, on Esther, the waist will be 2 inches smaller than Jane, so they'll never mix and match. But the other thing you can tell if you're not sure is looking at the seam lines where they would mix and match. So, like for instance, Esther has this basque waist, whereas Jane has the straight across waist. So just that would tell you, you know, that those two are never going to mix and mingle well. Yeah, and someone was just asking me today about could you use the night and day sleeves in the Bryant gown, which we haven't even talked about the Bryant gown. But if you look at the Bryant gown, it's a raglan sleeve, right? Which means it has a diagonal seam line that goes up here and then it's off the shoulder. Night and day is a set-in sleeve, which means it has a traditional seam going around the arm. So those two are never going to mix and match. So that will just sort of give you, if I'm not on live stream to answer your question, you can always look at where you would want to mix the seam lines, and see if they mix and match. I mean, I will say, I know people love interchangeable things, but it would be really boring to only ever do set-in sleeves or only ever do straight waistlines so that everything could mix and match. So that's why we try to mix it up. If you can sneak in a Velcro pocket for credit cards to pay for poolside drinks, where would you put it? I would probably just put my credit card in the bra because that's a pocket on its own. But let's see, where would we put it? You know how some exercise wear has a little hidden pocket right here? That could be fun. Or you could put it on the short on the panty. Drink, everyone. Underneath the skirt, you could put a little pocket right there. That would be cute. Can Can I make the Lemoire skirt with the top and make a dress? So again, just talking about mixing and matching, Lemoire is made for a woven and it has positive ease. Esther is made for spandex fabrics and it has 3 inches of negative ease. So they're never going to play well together. A belt would look cool. Love that. Can we talk about the bra part? Yeah, let's go back over that. Are we buying pre-made or making our own? So you are making your own. And the reason for that is you want, so the bra is a layer of the spandex here and then a layer of foam. And you're essentially making your own foam cups that fit the dimensions of this pattern exactly. So the thing about the pre-bought bras is they're usually like circles that you just kind of have to stitch in place there. You're making these custom foam cups that exactly match the pattern piece, which is really fun. And then, yeah, there's your boning channels with your spiral steel boning. And there is your elastic at the bottom, which gives you support underneath the bust. Piping. Is it made of Lycra? Yes, I did make the piping in the Charm Scout suit out of Lycra. And what I did, and actually it is detailed in the instructions. So it's in that section called Take Your Suit to the Next Level. You will cut strips of your spandex fabric that you want to make the piping out of. I wrapped mine around cotton cord, sewed it as I normally would piping, and then I ended up pulling the cord out so that you have the dimension in there. So you build the shape around the cord, but then you can take it out so that you don't have the extra bulk of the cord. So that's a cool little tip and trick. Someone's asking, does the boning need to be removable to prevent rusting? So yeah, I said this is probably the most common question I get about boning, spiral steel boning, is does it rust? And I was just saying that we did a little experiment in the studio where we took a length, because I've never had a problem with spiral steel boning rusting. And I hand wash all of my dresses with spiral steel boning. So just to like put everyone's minds at ease, we took a length of spiral steel boning and put it in a cup of water for 3 weeks and nothing happened to it. So it really is treated to prevent rusting. We need the boning in a cup. Okay, so Jenny, we took photos and actually it's in the video. There is scientific evidence that the boning will not rust. Could you please hold it up again for a look-see? Are you talking about this one? So here's the inside. Here's the bra. Foam cups. Science. There's the bra back, which gives you all that nice support in the back. Here's the hooks and eyes at the lower back. And there's also boning in the side seams. Oh, one other thing I want to tell you about all this is that we did these fun diagonal side seams. You see this right here? So the side seams kind of go forward like this. And that is partially because of the boning in there. You know, you don't really want boning right on your crease right here. So we had them kind of tilt forward a little bit. So they don't exactly match the side seams on the skirt. So that's just something, we give you notches to match up too. So keep that in mind. We need the boning in a cup. Yep, you can buy cord elastic to use in piping if you want, but yeah, you can also just take it out and it forms this cool hollow shape, which is a little more lightweight for if you're going to be doing a lot of swimming. You can also buy elastic piping, but it tends to be a little on the flatter side. So I did find some in green, but I found I wanted a more traditional round piping look. Someone asked, where do you buy the foam for the cups? So we gave you a full resources list on the Charm blog today. And if you scroll up, Nati linked you to it. And it gives you a source for the foam for the cups. We bought ours from a place called So Sassy, which sells lingerie and swimwear sewing supplies, which is nice because you can, place a bulk order for things that you need. But I'm sure you can also find this foam on Etsy. I would look for like bra foam, lingerie foam. You might need to try some different search terms. Are you wearing any undergarments? Because girl, you look amazing. The undergarments are in the suit. I'm not wearing anything under it, guys. So the bra is in the suit, just like the one you saw. And then there's like a panty underneath it. And this is all just like power mesh shaping, So it's like having the layer of power mesh plus the layer of spandex really gives you a lot of support and control. And I will say, I knew that bust support was going to be a huge thing. We needed to, really make sure that the pattern was providing. So Susie, our dear Susie, did a test for us in this suit. And that was actually when we decided to add power mesh to the straps and to the bra back for more support. Okay. Because, she wears our H cup. So we could see, that having the extra support in the strap. So if you're tempted to skip the power mesh in the straps, I will say you will lose almost all of your strap support if you just have spandex in the straps. Also, the bra back really helps to have a sturdy layer in there to give you that support. So it is super supportive. I knew that was going to be a hot button issue. If you go back like 2 months to when we released Skipper, our bodysuit on Patreon, and so many of you asked me if you could turn Skipper into a swimsuit. And I was just dying inside. I wanted to tell you guys so bad that we were working on a swimsuit. But it was so funny because Skipper is like really just, it has a tubular shape. It has waist shaping, but if you make that into a swimsuit, it's pretty much just going to be a spandex tube with no structure or support. Hi, Susie. So happy you're here. So yeah, I was just telling the story of when we did the fit test with you and how we, that helped us really make some key decisions to getting bust support. And I was so happy when you said that you felt super supported in the suit. And I was like, yes, we've done it. We've gotten there. So yeah. So Skipper made as a swimsuit, it could be done, but it's like, it would be like a tank suit. You know what I mean? Like I'm thinking something that you might get on like Land's End or something, like a layer of spandex, layer of swimsuit lining, call it a day. Like it's not going to have any of this stuff that makes you feel really supported and flattered. So, that power mesh changed my life. Yeah, Susie, back me up here. The difference, we did the first strap test on you with just spandex in the strap, and you were not feeling happy, and your bust was not feeling happy. And then we're like, you know what? Yeah, Andrea was there, and I was like, okay, we put like a double layer. So the strap is folded, right? So you do a layer of power mesh, layer of spandex, and then you fold it and sew it. So you really have 2 layers of power mesh in there. And it just made the difference. Yeah, it's so worth the time to do the underlining and get that extra support in there. Shout out to the double layer of mesh. Yeah, the real VIP. The real, what's the sports term? MVP. The MVP power mesh. Nati wants to gush about the Bryant gown. She's like, get on track. Yeah, okay, so we have another release today. The Bryant gown, and I don't have any here with me because I left the studio with an armful of swimsuits and didn't have room for anything else. But we also released an amazing, I'm so thrilled with how these garments came out and how the photos came out. We released a new charm pattern called the Bryant gown, which is a mermaid shaped gown, and it was named after the amazing, gorgeous, legendary Joyce Bryant, an American jazz singer who was very well known for her mermaid silhouettes that she always wore. So we showed, I just posted one on Instagram this afternoon, a few versions that you can slide through. We made the full length gown that I'm wearing in a beautiful brocade. And it has some interchangeable options. So you can make it with a short raglan sleeve, a 3/4 raglan sleeve, or a what I'm calling a lantern puff sleeve with a band. It has sort of a lantern shape to it, meaning it's like smaller at the top and then it kind of slopes out. Missy's here. Oh my gosh, we have to talk about Missy. And then there is a band to hold it in place on the arm. And it's sort of a V-neck that goes slightly off shoulder. The bodice, the torso is, I say it's highly sculpted with darts and seams. So it has princess seams, it has fisheye darts, and it just has this amazing hourglass shape. It just truly transforms the look, how you feel. And the cool thing about this gown is it's relatively simple to sew. I think it has the look of something that's being very complicated, while actually being, I think, somewhat simple. The gown version has a straight skirt and then a mermaid flounce at the bottom with box pleats all the way around and a short train in the back. And because I knew that you guys would say, well, I don't have anywhere to wear that, I wanted to show the way the gown could be more versatile as well with a knee length, cocktail length option. So you can use that same cutting line just below the knee, and then there's a knee length circular flounce. So that one I feel like can go very cocktail. It can go very dressy too, but I also showed a version in like a lilac double wool crepe to show how it could be, I don't want to say conservative, but it doesn't have to be this overly extra garment. It can be a very just beautiful, understated cocktail dress as well. So we love to show you options. Wear it in your living room. Wear it down the hall. Wear it to work. Wear it to make dinner. I don't even care that I have nowhere to make it. Yeah, I mean, it's so fun to make, and it really comes together quickly. And I think, it has elastic on the top of the sleeves too to kind of hold it like right on the shoulder. Oh, and then it has a low V back, which is really pretty too. Yeah, so we've never done anything full length before, so that was really exciting. Missy killed the hair and makeup. Oh my gosh, Missy, we love you so much. I missed you so much when we weren't able to have Missy out here because of COVID. She's done almost all of our charm photo shoots, done the hair and makeup. And so we finally got to have her back. We love you, Missy. So she came for this shoot, and it was so funny. Missy, the first time we talked about the shoot, I was like, so I kept thinking, like, I don't want to just like email her the details because like I need to like tell her. I was like, so there are 6 models. Because, starting out with Charm, it was only ever me modeling because that was, and it was only ever me working for the company. So it was like, it's just grown and it's been amazing. And this is the biggest photo shoot we've ever done. And I hope you saw we did a Pride theme. Today is the beginning of Pride Month, and we wanted to do a Pride theme for the Esther shoot. And we teamed up with La Casa de Flores, who you may know on Instagram. I've bought a lot of her hair flowers for shoots. And she had the idea to do a Pride collaboration, which I loved. And so we've been talking about this since February about what would a Charm Pride shoot look like? And I love the idea. We were kind of planning the shoot for Esther then. And I love the idea of incorporating it with a swimsuit because, I think like summer, rainbows, fun, kind of like worked for me. And then, we had pride crowns from La Casa de Flores, and she made a pride crown for, a non-binary model, a trans model. She did the lesbian pride colors. And so I had this I was trying to figure out, okay, so we have this pride crown, but it also needs to be a rainbow overall. And we also need the model. We want to make sure that the models, reflect those identities. And that also it was really important to me that we had people who are already in our community. I didn't have to go to a modeling agency to find people who would participate in this shoot. They're all people who are part of our community already, which I thought was a beautiful statement. And anyway, so getting back to Missy. So I said, so by the way, we have 6 models and, we've never worked with some of them before and it's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. And yeah, Missy says it was amazing. Everything went seamlessly and the models were angels. What professionalism from all. Yeah, we did 2 days of shooting and it was so wonderful to, I'm going to cry. We had models, from the community and, I just felt like it was a really beautiful collaboration. So and everyone, Missy, as always, just made everything look so beautiful, but also made each model look so beautiful, but like themselves. You know what I mean? I think that's one of Missy's real, just amazing talents is, not everyone has to have the cookie cutter pinup look. She worked with each individual model to talk about what they were comfortable with and how they wanted to look. And it was just really beautiful. I know. It was an incredible shoot. It was really a beautiful couple days. And it was fun. It was fun too. And we had tacos. Did we have tacos? I can't remember. We almost always have tacos. Tosh says Missy is amazing. Yes, she is. She is. So yeah, it was really a wonderful thing. And we are also donating 20% of the proceeds from the Esther Swimsuit for the month of June for Pride Month. We chose 2 organizations to donate to. The first is Lambda Legal. So 10% will go to them and then 10% will go to the Trevor Project. So tacos are the best. Tacos and pizza. Yes, that's what we have. Yeah. So if you want to order these patterns, if you want to order Esther, I would say do it in June because 20% of your purchase will go to these amazing organizations. It really was. It was a lovely, wonderful, touching shoot, and I'm so proud of everyone who was involved. All right. Any thoughts, any questions, any feelings? Nati, have I stayed on track? Have I missed anything? Tacos and pizza, all the health food. Do the other models have Insta? And is it possible to get them to follow? Yes. So we did tag everyone on the rainbow composite photo. So if you click on any of those photos, just do a tap, all the models' tags will come up. So let's see. Someone asked about a strapless bra with the Bryant. Yeah, I mean, I personally would wear, you guys know what I'm going to say is I wear the what Katie did, Merry Widow. But actually, I had to make a little. The back is lower than the Merry Widow. So the Bryant back is lower. So I ended up altering one of my Merry Widows to have a dip in the back. So I would do a strapless bra with a lower back, like one of those bustiers with a lower back. Or if you have a strapless long line bra that you love, you can alter it, and it's too high in the back, you can alter it like I did. I've also seen, some of our models wore just like a regular strapless bra with the waist cincher if you want. It's totally up to you. You can wear no bra if you want. You could probably try to do like bra if you really want to wear. I'm trying to think if it would be possible. We didn't try it, but to do bra carriers in the sleeves right here and just have the straps go off the shoulders. Just put some power mesh in it. Do you have a sewing tutorial coming out soon? So there will be a tutorial for the Esther Swimsuit on Patreon. I knew that you guys were going to want like start to finish. Here's how you sew this swimsuit. You really need to see every step. But it is a long form video for that reason. So we broke it up into 2 videos. The first one is 2.5 hours, and it shows you how to make the bodice, the bra, the straps. And it takes you through supplies. It takes you through everything, okay? How to do the boning, how to make the bra cups, how to do the power mesh underlining, everything, how to do lips and eyes. Then we did a separate video for the bottoms, right? So it's just going to show you how to make all the 4 bottoms in one video. Now, these videos are exclusive to Patreon. So Patreon is our subscriber community, and I knew that these videos I wanted to give these videos to the Patreon community because we are all about education there, and we have been really focusing on earning our merit badges this year. So the merit badge for this month is in swimwear techniques. So I felt like video was going to be crucial. Membership has its benefits. So I would say, that's just like, you get the expansion on Patreon this month, but I was thinking of the video almost as like the big reward for you, the big benefit for you guys this month. Because I just knew it was going to be crucial if you're new to sewing swimwear, if you haven't sewn a structured swimsuit before. It's an educational journey, everyone. That said, we also have a YouTube video coming out on my top tips for sewing swimwear. And that one is 40 minutes long, so it's not insubstantial. And it takes you through everything that I learned on my educational journey, including how do you layer 2 fabrics together, like power mesh and spandex to get more support? How do you do the bra cups? So it's kind of like the light version of the Patreon. It's its own video, but it's like, it's a little more approachable for the YouTube crowd. I feel like my, more beginner focused videos do really well on YouTube. And so that one will be coming out hopefully this week. Yeah, and we actually tried something new in the videos this month. I have to tell you guys, we have struggled so much. I think, I moved filming from my house to the studio, which was a dream of mine after COVID. But it turns out that we have the noisiest studio in the world. And we struggled with surrounding noise so much so that the second day we could not film at all with audio. And what we ended up doing for the bottoms video was we tried a new style, a new film style where we filmed, the visuals, and then I did a voiceover later. And I actually think it resulted in a really cool style. So those are for the bottoms. So hopefully you like the bottoms video that we did. Nati did all the editing on that. So thank you, Nati. And it's a little, I tend to describe every single step and talk you through every single step. And that's great and all, but it can result in some very long videos. In the bottoms video, I was able to just kind of show it and talk you through it. And I felt like it's some of you might prefer the style. So I'm quite interested to hear what you think. I earned my badge in editing. She did. Nati needs her own editing merit badge. It says the bottoms video was great. No complaints. Wow. Yeah, Nati is the best. Did the most. Did the best. Yeah, so that's why there are 2 different styles of video. Is there going to be a video on the Bryant? No plans for it at the moment. That one is a little, I mean, like I said, I feel like the sewing is fairly straightforward. We also did so much filming for the past month, and the editing has been such a challenge, and the uploading has been such a challenge that I'm looking forward to taking a little break from it. No offense. No immediate plans. No immediate plans to make a video for Bryant, but there are illustrations, and I feel like you're going to get through it quite easily for the illustrations. But, you know, someone just said, is there a video for the Liz dress? Yes, there is a full-length video for the Liz dress that is free to everyone on YouTube. So, yeah, I can't even think about doing any more video today, guys. You will break me if you ask me for it. Yeah, it's been a lot. It's been a lot, but I'm so happy it's all like out in the world today. Very happy. Oh, the understitching video. Yeah, so we also did an understitching video just for YouTube. We are trying to do, you know, some shorter skill-based videos for YouTube. So we just one day shot a quick little understitching video, and it's up on YouTube now, and it talks you through why is understitching important, why is grading important, and clipping and notching. So the example I use is a curved high waistband, like on the Lucille trousers. So I take you through all the steps of that. So that's just a fun, quick little video. Time to relax by a pool somewhere after this release. Oh, Lord. Oh, child, as RuPaul would say. Oh, my goodness. Yes. So someone just asked for hints for next month. I am going on vacation, everyone. So, fun story. You guys know I bought a vintage camper last year, and I will be taking it out to meet my mom around mid this month. So I'm going to take about 4 days to drive to Missouri, where we're going to be meeting up, and then we're going to hang out there together for 5 days, and then it'll take me 4 days to drive back. So that's a lengthy little vacation of just sort of like road tripping and hanging out at campsites. And yeah, my mom and I are going to be at Lake of the Ozarks in Missouri. Never been. Very excited. I can't handle any more hints right now. Yeah, I can't. It's a huge day for charm patterns. Oh, thank you, everyone. How many months ahead do we work? You know, it depends. I feel like we have gotten to a point now where we're working through the end of the year, which is great. And we are planning some more charm patterns that will come out in the fall. So just to give you a little idea of our schedule, we're going to have another charm pattern releasing this summer, just a single this time. I'm thinking around August, but don't, you know, that's not set in stone. So don't quote me on that. And then we have 2 more coming out in the fall. So you know, one of my big goals for this year was to, after the hot mess of 2020, which was really hard to publish anything, get back on track with, you know, a very regular charm schedule. And I think we're getting there. So we'll have Cinch It, Esther, Bryant, August, and then 2 in the fall. So if we count cinch it for this year, which it's a little iffy on that, that would be 6 charm patterns for the year. So, and that would be like sort of my goal, because charm patterns are very comprehensive and they take a long time. So yeah, my mom is driving 4 days from Arizona. So we are meeting sort of halfway in beautiful Missouri. Oh, so Tubes says, where are the pictures of Hattie and the flamingo? I mean, excellent question. So funny. Our fabulous editor is still working on some of the photos from the shoot, which are of models, which do not include Hattie, even though she is, you know, a supermodel, obviously. So yeah, we did take photos of Hattie and the flamingo. You haven't even seen the photo that I took with the flamingo. So we have a lot of images to sort of dole out to you. I don't like to release them all on the first because it's too much. It's too much. So yeah, we need Hattie and the flamingo. It'll happen. Don't worry, guys. But yeah, this flamingo was so funny. I went to Target knowing we were going to be doing this swimsuit shoot. I went to Target. Well, I was grocery shopping, actually. I wasn't shopping for the shoot, but I was like, oh, I should pick up some props while I'm here. They have a flamingo floaty toy, and the box was labeled giant flamingo, but the box was only this big. So I was like, oh, it's just a flamingo. It's just a normal size flamingo, I'm sure. And then Nati, one of her, I mean, if you want to know the day-to-day glamour of working for Charm Patterns, I was like, hey, Nati, can you prep these props, which meant blowing up the giant flamingo? And it is indeed a giant flamingo. So I have a very funny photo of Nati blowing up the flamingo, and she's underneath it. And if you got to see the sneak peek on Patreon, you will see that video or that photo. So yeah, the flamingo was truly giant and also a star that day. Oh, the fur babies. Oh my gosh. So yeah, I have 4 foster cats here right now. 3 of them are kittens and 1 is a mommy. And Andrew said, I will never stop laughing about Nati blowing up that flamingo all afternoon. Oh my gosh, it was truly hilarious. Someone said, can I see your outfit? Oh, yeah. You want to see my outfit again? Here, let me, so here's the skirt, everyone. It's a swimsuit. This is the skirt version for the Esther Swimsuit full coverage panty underneath. So my thing about drink, everyone. My thing about panties is that they have to have a full coverage bottom. So we went through a lot of that. But yeah, full coverage, vintage shape here. And then the basque waist, band at the top. This is the shoulder strap version. That explains the boots in that picture. What boots? Let's see. Marin, oh my gosh, where have you been? Yeah, you're here. Yeah, Nati blowing up the flamingo was iconic. All right, everyone. So any more questions, thoughts? Work. Marin, just block off your calendar. Just block it off. Oh, and the flamingo photo. So if you missed the kind of material on the swimsuit, I would go back and watch the beginning of this live stream, because I talk about how I use 2 different fabrics, swimwear, spandex, layered with power mesh to get a lot of control in the suit and to get a lot of shaping. What was the story behind the Fosters? Oh, I can tell you. So the Charm Studio is in a building called Atlas Studios, which is all like small businesses like ours and artists and stuff like that. And there's a woman named Hannah who works for the Atlas office, and she is a just cat rescue enthusiast. She just rescues kittens all the time around Newburgh. And I asked her how it started. But I asked her if because she now has a studio in the building that's a cat rescue. I said, did they just give you a studio to work from? And she said, well, I kept bringing cats into the building and putting them in empty studios. And then finally they just gave me my own studio to run a rescue out of. So we tend to have a lot of babies, little kitten babies in the studio building. And I'm always wanting to see these kittens. So I, volunteered to foster some babies so that they can rescue more babies because it's kitten season. There are a lot of feral babies out there and they will become great house cats with a little socialization. So your building is full of kitties. The building is full of animals of many ilks. It's, I always say about Atlas, and about when we advertised for Nati's job, I said, you have to be comfortable working in a dog-friendly building because there are dogs everywhere, there are cats everywhere. You go up to the main office and there are just kittens walking around, and there's a pit bull, Mr. Jones. Oh my gosh, we have so many cute animals in our building. So Mr. Jones also, we have a funny story from the photo shoot, which is, we will share this. We have a lot of behind the scenes stuff from the photo shoot, which we'll be sharing in my stories soon. But one funny thing that happened during the photo shoot was that Mr. Jones was outside and it was a sunny day and he decided to take a nap in the middle of the parking lot. He was just blissed out in the middle of the parking lot in the sun. And it was so cute that everyone stopped what they were doing. We stopped the shoot to go look, to go ooh and ah over Mr. Jones in the parking lot. So there's a funny video of us all admiring Mr. Jones in the parking lot and not actually shooting photos. There is a built-in bra in the swimsuit. So definitely, if you're curious about the swimsuit, go back, I will make this live stream available for you to watch from the beginning. So I really, at the beginning, I really talked about all the ins and outs of the swimsuit, including the built-in bra and how it's constructed. Mr. Jones is a dog. He's a dog. He's the cutest dog. After Hattie. Sorry, Hattie. And yeah, Henry's doing great. Everyone's doing great with the Fosters. And it's good. Can I live there? All right, everyone. Yeah, Henry is, so there's one foster kitten that is very interested in Henry. And the foster is named Eli. And we've been kind of introducing them slowly, and Eli keeps kind of walking up to Henry and rubbing against him, and Henry kind of sniffs him, and then he goes, oh. He just and he'll just kind of walk away, and then Eli comes over and does it again, and then Henry goes, ugh. It's so funny, but they're going to be best friends. Are you going to be a foster fail, aka end up with 5 cats, which is fine. I had 5 cats once. I am adamant I'm not keeping any of these cats. I am not. I don't care how cute they are with Henry. From the beginning, I was like, I feel nothing for these cats. They're adorable, but we're just, taking care of them. It's all gonna be fine. And then when I saw them interacting with Henry, I was like, oh, that's so cute. And then it really pulled on my heartstrings to see them kind of integrating into the household. So I think that's where I have to be careful. And I was talking to Hannah, who runs the cat rescue. And I should tell you, the name of the cat rescue is Talk to Me About Cats. And that is their Instagram handle. So go check them out. And and they're talking about starting a Patreon soon too, which I think would be fabulous to get kitten content on Patreon as well. So yeah, I'm not going to keep these little potatoes. My favorite potato is now named Gus Gus, which I love. And they're all adorable. And we have the mom. The mom is named Esther, after the Esther swimsuit. Mr. Jones is the weird guy next door. Henry looks somewhat confused. Yeah, he just does that little what is that? right, everyone. Well, this has been so much fun. I always love connecting with you guys, and so glad we got to talk about Esther and Bryant today and the new content on Patreon. And like I said, it's still encoding and uploading and stuff in the other room. And I promise you that video, as soon as it's ready, it will be up on Patreon for you. So I can't wait to hear what you think about it. And yeah, thank you all for joining me today. And thank you all so much for your support of Charm Patterns, of Patreon, and these new patterns today. And thank you to everyone who participated in this photo shoot. Missy, Andrea, Susie, Tosh, all of our models looking incredible. And Nati, Melisha, of course, all of you. Now I'm like, oh, I can't forget anyone. It was a whole team. It was a whole team. Everyone was so incredible. And I love you all, the whole Charm team and the whole Charm community. And thank you all. I will see you soon. Goodbye.